Elections are currently underway in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Before now, concerns were raised about the security challenges in that region. It is now up to authorities and stakeholders in that country to ensure that the country that has seen one of the deadliest violence in recent times makes sure that citizens are protected as they go to the polls. Now, President Felix Tshisekedi is competing against about 24 opposition challengers, that's 18 contenders, in the hope of a second term running the mineral-rich yet poverty-stricken nation. Now, opposition candidates have wooed voters with pledges to bring stability, to bring peace, and make sure there's economic development that they say was absent from Tshisekedi's first term. But the question is, can they deliver? Now, the election will be decided in a single round, requiring a simple majority of the vote to win. At stake is the legitimacy of the next administration. Well, that said, I'm now being joined by Sammy Wanza, Finance and Project Assistant at Impunity Watch DRC. Sammy, thank you for joining us. Sammy, can you hear us? All right, while we wait for Sammy, we also have Eddie Musoke Daniel, former head of communication and youth affairs in the Office of the Presidential Strategic Advisor, State House, DRC. Eddie Musoke, thanks for joining us. Can you hear us? All right, let's try Sammy again. I think we're still waiting for Eddie. Sammy Wanza, can you hear us? Sammy, I think your device is muted. Sammy, could you unmute your device, please?
And I'm happy to be here with you.
All right, thanks for joining us, Sammy. We're talking about the elections in DR Congo, and there's certain factors to be considered. Now, we understand that the president, the incumbent, Felix Tshisekedi, is in the race with about 18 contenders who are, I don't know if they're strong contenders, but they're contending with the president, and they have said that some of these elements like security, like major economic development have been missing from Felix Tshisekedi's administration. And I did say in the introduction that the main question is this just a manifesto or can they actually deliver? So, but let's start with the most glaring concern about the elections. Now, we do understand about 400 or about 44 million rather Congolese are registered to take part in the presidential, the legislative and regional vote. Now, with the recent record of violence and all the issue of security, we know that that's a critical one. And we also understand that the country is trying to beef up security, and they even asked for more helicopters. So I think my first question will be that would it be possible for all the regions to be able to vote today as the elections are ongoing? Or will this security issue disenfranchise some regions? Sammy, are you there?
Hello. I'm sorry. Can you repeat, please? Was some problem
Okay, so
here.
I'm
Can
just
you
going to give
repeat
it
the
another
question,
try
please?
and try to paraphrase as well. So I was just saying basically that one of the major fears in DR Congo right now is the glaring issue of insecurity. And we do understand that about 44 million Congolese are registered to take part in today's elections. Now, with the recent record of violence, we also understand that the government is trying to beef up security, asking for more helicopters. So the question is, will all the regions be able to take part in the elections, or will the insecurity issue lead to the disenfranchisement of some of these regions?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity you give me to speak here. So the first thing I would like to underline is that it will not be possible for all the 44 millions of Congolese to participate today uh, to the elections because in the last news I have some videos where we see some people are still waiting to for the electoral material to come to the place where they are supposed to vote. It was on 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Can you imagine at 2 p.m. some people are not yet. There are some missing materials of electoral elections that are missing in the place. So many people are waiting, and also about security. Yes, we can confirm that there are some villages especially here in the eastern part of the DRC, which will not take place to the elections. As we know, they are under the control of armed troops.
Right. Now, obviously, a good number of people have not been impressed with the incumbent president, Felix Tshisekedi's administration. But at this point, out of all the 18 contenders, would you say that there are strong contenders amongst them?
I really don't know, but the thing that I can say it's about it's that there are some reports that we have of some people or some candidates who are trying to teach in the elections, and we have many people who took the election material and destroyed them because they said that this election is not a good one. It's something like they are just it's not just for formality because they say that many people say that the results of these elections are already known, and there are some people who already teached for the actual president. The thing that I can't confirm by myself, but the images that I have is that in some villages some people are destroying the electoral materials because they said that there are some people who are teaching even in the light, because some people used to teach in the dark, but here are some people who are teaching in the light to on the eyes of everyone, and many people show that they are not will not take place in they take part of this, and they destroyed the material, the electoral material.
All right, now, Sami, power of incumbency aside, and whether or not these contenders are strong contenders, we also do understand that the people of DRC have not been very pleased with the president's administration so far, due to the things I did mention in my introduction. So, what are his chances at this point?
Yeah, see, his chances is I really there are two tendencies. Some people are saying, even some statistics, some statistics websites. Some people say that the actual president will be the winner of these elections. Other people say that it will be the number three. Moise Katumbi, who will be the winner of the elections. But until now, I can't really say that there are some chances. But because the actual president it is the one who is on the throne, let me use the word, is on the throne. So he has so many chances to be the next president out of this electoral process.
All right, thanks, Sami. Now, we're going to continue the conversation, but I think we have Eddie Musoke Daniel with us now. Eddie, can you please confirm you can hear us? Could you please unmute your device? I think your device is muted, Eddie. Eddie, are you there? Okay, Sami, I'm going to continue with you while we wait for Eddie to join us. Now, we also do understand that there are certain security challenges, right? Now, aside ensuring that people can vote freely and fairly without being scared of any violence erupting today, with the battles with rebel groups for a long time, what is the fate of the country with a new administration, be it the current administration continuing in power or a new one altogether? What will be the fate of a country?
Most people of DRC are just waiting so the next the next president or the next administration to begin by ending the war of the external party of the DRC, because it has been something like three decades that people from the eastern part of the DRC are suffering um are suffering, and some others are killed out of these problems of fighting between the national army and some armed groups. So this is the priority and the thing that almost for the DRC people want to see changed in the change in the DRC, having peace in the east of the country. This is the priority of the priorities in our country. So to say about the fate of our country out of these elections, I can say that the thing that will come after this, it will be the creation of some coalitions, and everyone, the next administration will look for having some coalitions from other people, other candidates, or other candidates, and even from the opposition, so that they can strengthen their power and rule in good ways in the country.
Right. All right. Still talking about the election processes. Can you tell us what the transparency level in the DRC elections have been before now?
Yes, some people say that this is the I can say the baddest one, the baddest election process that the DRC knew until now, because if we see how the election process had been in 2018, and the process that we have now, we can see how many things are not good, and how darkened are some process in these elections. About transparency, many people know that there is no transparency in this process. So we will know about it in the few coming days. Many people resigned and said that we can't go to these elections because there is no transparencies in these elections, and I'm really worried about this, because it seems like we will not have something like 50% of people who have been waiting to vote. We will not have them voting because many people resigned. Even this morning, we have many people who resigned because of they came early in the morning at 6 a.m. waiting to vote, and there were no electoral materials in the place where they're supposed to vote. So they choose to get back home at 8 on this morning. So I really don't know about how to rate about the transparency, but the thing, but for sure is that surely we can say that there there is no transparency as we were waiting for in this election process.
So we also do understand that there is a certain level of dissatisfaction with the administration, but so far in the elections, have there been any record of voter apathy?
I'm sorry, can you repeat, please? I didn't catch
I'm
very
just
well.
basically asking if there have been any records of voter apathy since the election started this morning. Sammy, can you hear me?
Yes, hello, can you hear me,
Yes,
please?
I can hear you, Sammy. So I'm asking if there have been any level of reluctance to vote from the people of DR Congo, especially bearing in mind the fact that they have not been satisfied with the current administration.
Yes, many people since this morning. This was the first news we were watching in the morning when I was in my bed in the morning. This is what the first news, listening from here and there, some in some provinces, in some towns and some villages, how things are going there, and I can say that many people are really disappointed about the process of these elections.
All right. Eddie Musoke Daniel, are you with us? Could you please confirm you can hear us?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me now?
Great. Yes, I can. Apologies for the technical issues. I think we had issues with your audio, but I'm glad we have you now. So we're basically talking about the DR Congo elections and whether or not it's been transparent enough, whether or not there have been voter apathy. But there are 18 opposition parties. Are there any of those that stand out for you?
I mean, thank you for having me, and again, sorry for the bad network here. But again, I think starting from the issue of opposition, I think we've watched the campaign for the past 30 days, and we've witnessed what has been happening. And we know right now we can say the major candidates that are standing in the way of the current and outgoing president Felix Tshisekedi are on top of the list. Former Katanga Governor Moise Katumbi, and of course the one of the major opposition leader Martin Fayulu, who up to date claimed that he won the elections in 2018, which of course have been proven by so many independent bodies across the globe. But fast 5 years fast forward, this is a completely different scenario from 2018. There is no Joseph Kabila and his political party and affiliated parties in the race, which is quite worrying on a political and security perspective. Him being a major player in the current political and security matters of the country. Then there is Moise Katumbi, who has come way bigger than everyone was expecting. You can, if you've been watching the campaign of the president Tshisekedi, he wasn't, expressing or explaining to people why they should vote for him. What did he do for the past 5 years? But all his campaign, 99% of his campaign was based on tarnishing the image of his major rival, which is Moise Katumbi. Many also have been claiming, again I repeat, claiming that Martin Fayulu, who up to the last minute was not concerned, was not concerned in the current elections, finally, vied for the presidency with no legislative candidate for his political formation, which is again, raised questions on where he stands for. How can, if by any chance or any miracle he becomes the president, how will he run the country without any senator, any member of parliament, any governor, any of those people who give the power to the president to run their affairs smoothly?
Okay.
So those are major issues that are currently on the question of the current ballot as for now.
All right. On this note, I want to say thank you so much, Sami Wanza, Finance and Project Assistant at Impunity Watch DRC. And also thank you, Eddie Musoke Daniel, former Head of Communication and Youth Affairs in the Office of a Presidential Strategic Advisor. We're glad that we could eventually get you on the show to talk to us. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on the show. And we do look forward to seeing how the DR Congo elections turn out and what the results will be. But we hope that the best man wins. Thank you again.
We hope for the best as well. Thank you for
My pleasure.